Hey everyone, I just wanted to show you an issue that I can't seem to find much info about anywhere else, and I finally solved it today, and it has to do with the kick and bass relationship, and getting that bass out of the way of the kick. And I have this pretty boomy, kick with a lot of tail on it, pretty subby. Here, I'll play that for you. And you can hear that. You can hear that kick, and that kick is sitting right about zero, and I am pushing it with a clipper up a little bit. But what I wanted to do, normally, if I have a sub here, so I've got a sub, this is my bass here, and I'll play it uncompressed so you can hear it, but it's just in serum, a simple sine wave with the sub oscillator as well. And I don't think I have any effects on it. It's just very simple, simple sine wave here, and it just sounds like that. I've got this DP meter on it, and it's pulling it up to 0 dB. And if we reset this, we can see it's got like, about 2 dB RMS. And what I want to do is get that sub out of the way of the kick. So every time the kick hits that, the initial transient of the kick and the tail will start to, as the tail starts to come down on this kick here, I want the sub to pick back up. And so normally I do that with like a ducking plugin here, which is like basically a volume automation, and that will just dip the volume down, and you can kind of shape it however you want. And this works for the most part. But I really wanted to get the sidechain compression working, and I'll show you the issue I've always had with sidechain compression in Logic is when you open up Logic, this compressor, the default compressor is this Platinum Digital, and if I do what most of the other bass producers, I've seen Skrillex and Subtronics, they will drop the threshold all the way down, and they'll pull the ratio all the way up, and then they'll put the attack, close to 0. And then they'll route their sidechain to their ghost trigger. And in this case, my ghost trigger is just it's just a small transient off the front of that kick. I just cut the transient off that kick and copied it down to a new track, and then I just set the output to no output, so there's nothing. You don't hear anything when it's playing. But basically, and I think I threw the I put some gain on it, just so it really is like it's really smacking the transients. Yeah, so normally you'll throw your ducking plugin or whatever and try to get that sub out of the way. But I wanted to run the Platinum Digital compressor or the Logic stock compressor, and I felt like there must be a way to do it. I see them do it so simply in Ableton, and I just couldn't figure it out here for the life of me. And I finally solved it today, so I just wanted to show you how that worked. But first, I can show you kind of the issue I'm having. So we'll pull up an O-scope here and the dB meter, and I'll turn off this ducking plugin, and I'll run this with and without the bypass so you can kind of see what's happening. But you've got the let's just play it. So if I turn off this compressor and you look at this O-scope here, you can see that the kick and bass are summing together, especially on the transients here, and they're just pushing it way up. Let's do a little bit bigger here, UI here. the if I were to run just the sub here, yeah, you see where it's hitting, right? Just, you know, what is that? The second line from the top here. If I were to run the kick, same thing. Yeah, it's just below the second line from the top there. I sum them together, and now all of a sudden, here we are going past the top. And if I were to throw a clipper or a limiter on the master, it's just gonna crush it. And that's not what I want at all. I want to get that ceiling. I want to bring those transients down. And to do that, I just got to get the bass out of the way when the kick hits. So it would be really nice if I could use a compressor and ride the release here a bit, and find the sweet spot, and really have it duck to infinity, basically. That moment that initial transient hits, and then that come off that release just the right amount of time to at least get most of the way out of the way. So here I'll show you what happens when I run with the Platinum Digital compressor with the settings, you know, like my favorite bass artists. The issue I have, one, is it's going to get, you can see before we stopped it, it was, let's see, we were running at 0 dBs and, you know, 1 to 2 RMS. But if we throw this compressor on, all of a sudden we're down 3 dBs and we're negative 16 here. So we lost volume for sure. And as well, if you look at the O-scope, that sub is gone. That sub is, I mean, it's there, but it's almost gone completely. If you look at, you know, if you look at just the kick by itself, that's the kick by itself, and we throw the sub on it, and we've got, you know, this much of the sub is existing. I can adjust the attack, I can adjust the release here. It's not really going to change anything, and I'll show you that I throw the release all the way down. Maybe gained a little bit here, but it's negligible. And really the solution was so simple. It was staring me in the face all along. And if you just move this compressor over to the Vintage Opto or the Vintage FET, the Vintage FET I think was the one. Yeah, if you move it over to this, you can get, look at that. I mean, just look at the difference. And we're back at 0. And we only lost a little bit of RMS. Just a little bit. That's fine. That's acceptable. You know, maybe it's pushed the transient here up a little bit. And maybe we can ride that release a little bit and find, you know, really find the sweet spot. But this is significantly better than what I had before. And you can even hear it. It just sounds like they're fitting together. You can see it and hear it. You know, they're fitting together properly now. If I ride that release too much, I lose too much of that. Gotta find the sweet spot. We don't want to push these peaks up too high, because then when we go to clip it, you know, let's just, yeah. Yeah, but we can, from here, we can work with this. This is something we can. Anyways, I just wanted to show you this side here is that if you're using the sidechain compression, you get this click. However, I've noticed that, and here I'll play that so you can hear it. Sorry, I gotta solo the sub here. Right as the, I think it's right as the release happens that it clicks, and you can solve that with a ducker just on the end part there. Let's see, I'll throw the ghost trigger on it. Let's see. You can hear that clicking, but if I just get a duck right there, I can get rid of most of it. But I found too that that clicking sound, you just can't really hear it in context. So, and it kind of just sums with the click of the kick, and you don't really notice it. But yeah, it dropped a little bit there. We lost a little bit of the peaks. It looks like the peaks went down a bit, maybe. We've just got this occasional peak here, but really nothing crazy. Yeah, anyways, let me know if you liked the video and if I should do more little videos like this, tips, tricks, logic, and thanks. See you later.